Hello everyone, it's Andy from electricpetrolhead, and let's have a look at my garage at the moment. So we've got right here BMW i3. This is a 2019 model, 120 amp hour battery, probably one of the best small electric cars. We absolutely love this thing. It's absolutely brilliant, so perfect. And then we've got the other one. We've got the blue Tesla Model S. Oh, what? Where's it? Where's it gone? Oh. As I was saying, we've got the Tesla Model S as well, and it's got a bit small. What the? Okay, let me explain. Let's go back to February of 2020. This is before the COVID pandemic all kicked off. So, like any owner, I keep an eye on the prices of what the cars are worth. The Model S rose by 8 grand. That's a huge amount. And this was mainly because on the 1st of April, the government were changing the way that the tax system was working in the UK where I live. So electric cars suddenly had what they call zero benefit in kind. So you could run it through a company and you wouldn't have to pay the tax on it as an individual. So that's really good. I was like, oh, this is actually quite tempting. Do I sell now and get possibly the best value I'm going to get in a while out of it? At the same time, we were driving this car, the i3, more than the Tesla, because the i3 is just absolutely wonderful. It's just really good. Like, we live in a small city, so a lot of our errands around the city, the i3 was a better car than the Tesla. But obviously the Tesla is a far, far superior car on a long journey. We kind of came to this decision that actually a Model 3 would be a better car for us than the Model S, because the Model S is huge and, you know, it's the slightly older tech, dare I say it. You don't get the quicker charging, the battery technology is a bit older. So we're like, okay, well maybe we sell the Model S and buy a Model 3 for pretty much the same money, get a brand new car, because obviously the Model S was 2 years old at the point where we sold it. So yeah, we started thinking this could be a little, you know, a pretty good idea. If you have a Model 3, that you do lose out on a bit of luggage space over the Model S, but for the 2, maybe 3 times a year, you know, a summer road trip with the family, and then maybe Christmas, and maybe a couple of other trips, you can get a roof box, and, you know, we could get a tow bar and put the bikes on the back, and we're thinking, this is a better idea. There's nothing bad about this. Staying with Tesla, do it. So we did it. We sold the Model S, had the cash in the bank, and we found an inventory Model 3 in London. And London's only 2 hours away from here, so we're like, this is perfect. Went online, ordered it, job done. So a week went past and we hadn't heard from Tesla other than the normal automated emails. And by this point I was thinking, surely this car is an inventory stock. It means, you know, it's already built and the location says in London. So we're thinking, well, what's going on? But luckily, over 2 years of ownership, I'd got to know a couple of you know, people who work for Tesla, and there was also, you know, the original salesman who is still involved with Milton Keynes, and he's an absolute star. So I sent him a message and just said, "Can you look into this VIN? What's the situation? It says it's an inventory car." Yeah. It was an inventory car. It was built, but it wasn't in London. It was still in the United States of America. So we're getting a little bit scary times back then. The COVID, this whole pandemic was spreading throughout the world. And I was thinking, if I don't get this car soon, we're probably going to be following Italy and other countries and go into lockdown. I'm not going to actually be able to physically get this car. If you lease in the UK, they deliver it to your house. However, if you are a cash purchaser or you're financing or any other way, you've got to go and pick it up from a service centre. Fundamentally, the car wasn't going to be delivered before the UK went into no non-essential journeys. Public transport was, to be fair, pretty scary thought with you know, the spread of this virus, and I was getting a bit nervous. I actually started getting more emails from Tesla as the process went along. Everything was fine on the money side, everything was ready to go. But when it came to collection, we were already in lockdown. Public transport was still going, but it was a bit risky. And the only option was to drive down to Heathrow, about nearly 2 hours journey from us. But the schools had already broken up. I'd have had to take my whole family down to London in the i3, and it was just getting a bit scary. And on top of that, my wife and I both started developing a cough. So we're in this situation where Kate and I are both coughing. That's one of the main symptoms of COVID. We got a little bit scared, and if I'm honest, we just pulled the plug on it. We lost the £100 deposit, which kind of sucks, but fundamentally, I think it was the best idea. There was talk of the touchless delivery, but that hasn't quite sort of come in yet. I didn't want to take my family on a 4-hour road trip just to collect a car. Like, I'm a massive car guy, as I'm sure you'll realise on this channel, but fundamentally, health is far more important and family is far more important. So I pulled the plug, and I'm gutted to say, cancelled the Model 3. I really regret it now. So where does that leave us? So we're now just in early July as I'm filming this, and we're coming out of lockdown in the UK, but it's been a really weird few months. And you know, we're not going to be going away on a summer road trip now. The idea of going on holiday in the UK for this summer just fills me with dread, because they're just going to be so crowded. Like, there's already been reports of these beaches in the UK being completely overcrowded on the hot sunny days, which we have been having. We've now also got a situation with Tesla where there's the shareholders meeting and the battery update day in September. So I'm now thinking it makes a lot more sense to wait until then and work out what Tesla are doing, because there's a good chance they might be bringing out either an updated Model 3, or they might just concentrate on the Model S and Model X, and if that's the case, then the Model 3 will be fine. So to wrap up this video, it all came down to a bit of a head versus heart situation. My heart was saying, just get another, Model 3 and be done with it. And yes, that would make a lot of sense. But equally, from a financial point of view, it just makes no sense having a second car at the moment. The i3 is just wonderful. We've got no road trips coming up. There's just sad to say, there's no need for me to have 2 cars in the garage at the moment. For work, it's either I can cycle there, and I work from home most of the time as well. So sad to say it, but we're going to be just dealing with the i3. But it also opens up another opportunity for the channel, and there's lots of other electric cars out there that I can borrow and review. So the summer's actually going to be really good from that point of view, and we'll be back in a Tesla. I've just paid another year's subs for the Owners Club, and we got the Cybertruck order, which will be a really good giggle. But I do think just being sensible for a few months and then reevaluate in September, and then I'm sure we'll be back behind the wheel of a Tesla before very long. But frankly, I feel so privileged to have the i3. It is a phenomenal car, and BMW haven't maximised what they can do with the i3 yet. It's a real shame. But on that note, thank you for watching. Feel free to rip the piss out of me in the comments. Send me loads of abuse, because I do miss having a Tesla. They're still the best car in the world for daily and family duties. But yeah, anyway, from my little Tesla, that worked a while. It's broken now, damn it. From this little Tesla, see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.